What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Conversations with the Mod Squad / Discussions with the Mod Squad. I'm your host this week, Kevin, always joined by Brandon
That's me.
and Felix.
What's up?
At least when we do discussions, anyway. This week's topic of discussion is what Elseworld type movie would you like to be seen made, and who would you like to see as the main character, played as the main character? I'll go first on this one. I want to see a DC vampires movie because I really love the comics. And hear me out. The Batman I want to see in this as the main character, Robert Pattinson.
Ooh.
Not only was he Batman, he was a vampire.
He was a vampire.
Oh,
I would-
shit. I didn't
I
put that
would-
together.
I would love to see that just because of that.
Clever girl.
Yes. I really like him as Batman to begin with, and I think if they did an Elseworlds to where it don't have to be, a full series of movies or anything like that, just a one-off. I would really like to see something like some movies being made like that, just one-off movies, and him be the vampire in DC Vampires. I think it would be really cool. It would be really inventive, especially since he's been both. I think it'd be pretty cool.
I think that's a really cool idea. I think DC needs to do more fan service stuff like that. I feel like they kind of stick to the script a little bit too much. They kind of play it safe with a lot of their movies, sticking with the main, the main rogues gallery and the big three. I feel like if they departed a little bit and did some of that fan service stuff, like what Marvel's been doing recently, especially, I think that would be a hit.
Yeah, I do too.
I would totally watch that.
I do too. I know that they tried branching out when they did Blue Beetle because that's a real lower tier character, and I really enjoyed the Blue Beetle movie. I thought it was really good.
I didn't dislike it, and I'm glad that he's going to be this universe's.
Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. I think that they're missing out on doing one-off movies. I know that they tried to incorporate some of the Elseworld stuff in normal storylines a lot of times, especially in TV series. Like they'll try to do, Red Sun Superman or something like that in TV. I just think that we need a one-off type movie about Superman Red Sun or Batman Vampires, just something
Red Sun
one-off.
would be so good.
Yes,
That would make such a good movie.
That's
think
one I
so
would.
too.
Yeah.
I really think
I
so
don't think
too.
they would make it though. I don't think they'll make it anytime soon in our lifetime.
No, they'll never make a one-off movie like that. It'll be incorporated into a regular movie as a storyline, but they will never make a one-off.
I
don't
kind of
think
like
so.
the touch of that in The Flash. Not that The Flash was a good movie, but the touch with Cora.
Kara Zor-El, yeah.
Kara Zor-
Yeah, and I just don't. I don't know. Yeah, they touched on it, but I just want a full movie. I want the full thing. I don't want to be like, oh. I mean, when they touch on it, they do it so well a lot of times that it could be a great movie. So
Yeah.
Brandon, what do you got for your movie?
So I'm switching gears. I'm going with on the Marvel side, and something that they've done. One of my favorite comic runs that they did was Marvel Zombies, and I know they've done it in the What If series animated, which was really cool. I think the What If series that they did was one of the better things they've done in a while. But I want to see live action. I want to see some live action Marvel Zombies because the comic run that they did was so good. It was so brutal. And now that they're willing to do some of that more adult stuff that they've shown with Deadpool and Wolverine, I think that that's something that they could easily get away with, is doing a fan service movie and doing a Marvel Zombies. Obviously, it would have to be, either a multiverse thing, which, they've already introduced for a couple of years now. So that would be so easy for them to do, not tied to any other. And, what they could do, they could totally recast all of the Avengers. They wouldn't have to pay Robert Downey Jr.
$100 million.
$100 million to do it, or Chris Evans, you know, have to try and bring these guys out of retirement, especially with all of the zombie makeup that they would have to put on these guys.
Yeah.
They could easily do some of these, you know, special cameos, especially like some of the fan casting that has been done over the years, you know, like trying to bring Tom Cruise in as as Tony Stark, you know,
That
they
would be
could
cool.
totally surprise people with that. Or I'm not saying that I've wanted Tom Cruise as Tony Stark, but that's something that they could easily do. That could be a low budget thing, you know, bring in, you know, Tom Savini or Greg Nicotero and have them do that zombie makeup. It would be so epic. It would be
Practical
so
then, yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. 100%. You know, I'm totally behind the practical effects. I think CGI is a great way to enhance those practical effects. But I'm totally on board with the practical effects Marvel Zombies movie. That would be fucking epic.
Who would you like to see as lead character? Tom Cruise? Is that what-
No, I mean, I would say, you know, one of my favorite things. I have a zombie Captain America action figure, and so I got to see Cap as a zombie. But and in the What If series, I think it was Peter Parker was like the main character who was kind of you know, stayed human throughout it. So that would be really cool to see them bring in. You know, have Peter Parker, whether it's Tom Holland, that might be a little bit of a stretch, especially if we're trying to go more of a low budget movie. But maybe bring in, you know, have a new Spider-Man, you know, have a new character playing, you know, it could be tied to the Spider-Verse even, you know, because
Well, it's an Elseworlds, so yeah.
There's so many different versions of Spider-Man. So I
Bring
think
in,
that would be
Michael B. Jordan and have him play an older Miles Morales or something like that.
Yeah. So they could easily do some of that, because I think Spider-Man would be the character to put butts in the seats and make people excited for it. You know, a new Spider-Man, and you know, people love zombies, people love Spider-Man. So I think that's a winning recipe right there.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And I believe that'll lead right into Felix's.
So check it out. This kind of tweaked like 3 times. I told you guys what I was going to do in the beginning, and I'm thinking an Elseworld as Nightwing, just because of us, what we were talking, what a comment we made in the beginning, coming of age, not coming of age, but that means he's younger, hitting his 40s and feeling it like us, like human, feeling it like us all the way around, and him realizing that he can't do it anymore, and him passing, I don't know in the comics if he has kids or not, but him passing the baton to either his son or the new Robin,
Right.
literally, and then to the new Robin, and maybe having that conflict with Batman there, because he's taking his Robin and he can't do it anymore. Check out the casting. Josh Hartnett.
Ooh.
What do you think? As a Nightwing?
That would be cool. He's so good, and he's. I mean, I feel like every couple of years I see him pop up, and he does something just awesome, and everybody's like, "Holy shit, where's this guy been?" You know, like he needs to. That would be awesome. I would totally
And then,
watch him.
obviously, I'm not going to say he dies at the end, but you know, he comes of age, he passes the baton, and he dies at the end, and just it's over. One movie. You know, no sequels, no nothing. You know, kind of like the Logan, but for a Nightwing that no one ever thinks about.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, I just want to see some different movies being made, because at this point, DC's retelling the same story over and over again. Marvel's continuing their story, but I don't think they're really stretching the boundaries of what they should, like the way they could do. And I just want to see some of these one-off stories be told in live action form, and be told well, not super low budget fan-made type stuff. I want to see a full studio behind this, because these stories are freaking awesome. There's a reason why these comics sold so many. The Marvel Zombies was one of their biggest sellers in a long time. It kind of rejuvenated the whole Marvel line, I believe, at one point as far as comics. DC, I mean, there's the Superman Red Sun. Everybody knows about what that is. And the zombie horror line and the vampire line for DC were just amazing as well. So,
and the cover art that they put out for those books was so good, and I love how they put out so many different ones. Like it really gave comic book artists a chance to have fun with those comics. So yeah, it was so cool.
They really did.
You brought up Michael B. Jordan earlier too, and I was thinking, what Superman was he going to be from Earth?
He was going to be Con-El or Con-El, I think it is from Earth 3. I believe it is. I don't totally quote me on that, but
I would have loved to see that movie.
I would have too. I really would have. I like seeing different Superman. I don't need to see the same person all the time.
Superman, but in the 50s, where it's not fully okay for certain races, and him dealing with that and trying to save the people that hate him.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good.
I don't know if his world went through that, but it could have. I haven't read a whole lot of his storyline, so I need to though, because it's such a cool. He's such a cool character. But there you have it. That is the characters we'd like to see made into movies for our Elseworld type stories. So I do believe that does it for this episode of conversation/discussions with the Mod Squad. So for Felix, Brandon, I am Kevin saying, if we don't see you again, thank you for being a friend.
See ya.
Adios.